My name is Rena, and welcome to LOL Living Out Loud. This is the podcast where women come together to intentionally and boldly embrace who we are. So, ladies, grab your girls, grab a pen, grab your journal, and the beverage of your choice, and welcome to LOL Living Out Loud. Good evening, ladies. Welcome to LOL Living Out Loud. And if this is your first time with me joining the podcast, thank you for being here. My mantra is grab your girls, grab a drink of your choice, grab your journal, and so you can be ready to write down the writing prompt and get ready to go. So on this station, on this podcast, it's about living out loud. And to do that, we have to be authentically and truly and fiercely who we are. And that's a process. I think it's a never-ending process. And if you go back from the beginning of my podcast all the way to now, you'll see me throw out ideas, things for us to work on together. And loving oneself. This season is dealing with self-love. And in the midst of everything that's going on, I think it's really, really important that we continue with journaling and that I supply you guys with writing prompts and the like. So tonight I am going to share with you a writing prompt with the title A Note to Self. And A Note to Self is actually a series that Gayle King did on CBS on her news show, where she asked people if they were going to say something to their younger selves. It's their pick, what younger self, that version of their self that they want to speak to. What would they say? What would they write? So tonight I am going to share with you Michelle Obama's, yes, First Lady, our baddest First Lady ever, Michelle Obama's Note to Self. And with that, I am going to encourage you to write a note to yourself at any age, your little girl, your teenage girl, last year, a young lady that went through divorce, an older woman that went through divorce, whatever it is you think you can offer to your younger self. I want you to write that note to self. And I'm going to invite you to send me that note to self. You can send it through audio or you can send me the note, and I will be happy to share it with our podcast listeners. In the next few nights, you're going to hear me invite other people to share their note to self. And I guess at the end of it, I'll share the note to myself. But for tonight, we're just going to do the Note to Self or listen to Note to Self from Michelle Obama. So give me just 1 second while I grab Michelle Obama's Note to Self. Okay, I got it. So let me get it playing. Here we go. This is Gayle King giving the introduction on Michelle Obama's Note to Self.
Very popular series, Note to Self. She advises her younger self as she leaves for college. Dear Mish, there you are in your jean jacket and braids, a long way from that little apartment on the south side of Chicago. You're at one of the finest universities in the world. You're smiling, and you should be. You worked hard for this. But even now, after you reached your goal, you're still not quite sure if you belong and can't get one question out of your mind. Am I good enough? There aren't many kids here who look like you. Some arrived on campus in limousines. One of your classmates is a bona fide movie star. Another is rumored to be a real-life princess. Meanwhile, you got dropped off by your father in the family sedan. Years from now, you'll learn that your parents had to take out new credit cards to pay your tuition. But Michelle, what you'll come to realize one day is that you're only seeing what you lack and not everything that your story has given you. You grew up surrounded by soul and jazz and a deep anchoring love. Your parents taught you to keep your word and treat people with respect. They encouraged you to develop your own voice and use it. Those lessons are more valuable than anything material. They'll come in handy in the future in settings I won't spoil for you right now. Your father's final lesson will come far too soon. He'll teach you that life is fleeting. So laugh with him until your side hurts. Savor the grip of his hugs, the softness in his eyes. A day will come when those memories are all you'll have. His absence will hit you like a rock. It'll cause you to rethink everything about yourself and your future. But don't worry, you won't have to go through any of this alone. You'll open your heart to someone whose upbringing was nothing and everything like yours, all at the same time. He's driven by a hopeful set of ideals. He's grounded and kind and absolutely brilliant. And he's pretty good looking too. I thought you'd appreciate that. His certainty about his path will feel like a challenge to yours. You'll learn that even the best relationships take work. But that's okay. That's normal. And it's what gives your partnership its strength. Together, you'll be blessed with two perfect little girls who will fill you with so much joy you can barely process it. Yet you'll still struggle to find a balance between your family, your husband's rising career, and your own sense of self. Be patient. You'll get there. And just when you think you've done it, the four of you will be shot out of a cannon into the unknown.
I stand before you today to announce my candidacy for President of the United States of America.
Everything you fought for so hard, stability, balance, confidence, will feel like it's at risk. You'll be attacked by people who've never met you and don't really care to. They'll try to harm you for their own gain. Don't stoop to their level, no matter how gratifying it might feel in the moment. Hold tight to those values your parents taught you.
You treat people with dignity and respect, even if you don't know them, and even if you don't agree with them.
Your family will make history, breaking barriers and filling out a more complete picture of the American story.
At this defining moment, change has come to America.
With a lot of hard work and a good education, anything is possible. You'll meet two popes and the Queen of England.
You took on a role you didn't ask for, and you made it your own, with grace and with grit and with style and good humor.
People will fill stadiums to hear you speak.
She is your hometown girl from the south side of Chicago. Welcome, Michelle Obama!
It will be easy to think you're something special. Just remember that there are millions of people who grew up like you did and don't get this kind of spotlight. Reflect the light back on them. Use your voice to speak out for what's right, to build a better future for the next generation, to encourage those who are too often silenced or shoved aside. There are so many people out there like you, Mish. Black girls and minorities of all kinds, working class kids from big cities and small towns, people who doubt themselves, who are uncertain about whether they belong, but have so much to offer the world. Share your story with them, the struggles and the triumphs and everything else. Show them that there's more beauty inside than they can see right now. That's how you'll answer that question that's following you around, the one that sometimes keeps you up at night. You're more than enough, Mish. You always have been, and you always will be. And I can't wait for you to see that.
Gosh, because we sure see it, Mrs. Obama. It's so interesting in becoming.
Well, ladies, that was Michelle Obama's note to herself. What would you say to yourself? What would you say to the little girl in you, to the teenager in you, to the young woman in you in her 20s, 30s, 40s, or brand new 50s, 60s, 70s? What would you say in a note to yourself? So I'm challenging you to write that note to yourself in your journal and share it. Share it right here with me on LOL, Living Out Loud. I would love to read it or have you read it. So, in the words of Dolly Parton, find out who you are and do it on purpose. Until next time, good night. My name is Rena, and welcome to LOL, Living Out Loud. This is the podcast where women come together to intentionally and boldly embrace who we are. So ladies, grab your girls, grab a pen, grab your journal, and the beverage of your choice, and welcome to LOL, Living Out Loud.